This is React Give Back. I'm Devon BL at all the places. This is an actual photograph of me taken last week. So hello, that's me. I run the React.js Bay Area meetup in the San Francisco Bay Area, not the other Bay Areas that you might confuse it with. We do a meetup like once or twice a month, and I do it by myself. And I also was sort of an early adopter of React and an evangelizer. I continue to be for React, like telling everyone you should switch to React. It's really awesome and really easy. So that's me, being an evangelizer. I'm also a facilitator. This is called Help Desk. So like anytime anyone has questions about React, I try to find those answers, figure them out for people, or tweet them, or like start Twitter shitstorms about different topics that have to do with React. So yeah, that's me. But most importantly, the things that pay the bills is that I am a professional Reactor at Apple. I'm a senior front-end engineer, whatever that means. But I write React all day long and try to help all of the people at Apple sort of incorporate React into their products. Apple loves React. OK, so here's the thing about this talk. You guys are probably going to hate it. It's not very technical. And like most of it's kind of lecture-y. I won't even get into like the software stuff until like pretty close to the end. But I'm wearing a shiny dress so that you can be enamored with that. Or you can look at the emojis. Or you can just laugh at me or laugh with me. But just so you know, I'm a little bit of a do-gooder. People get annoyed with that. And that's fine. But I'll check you if you say something about systemic sexism that's inappropriate. And this talk's going to be a little bit about charity. So all of those things that I kind of mentioned above, and me just sort of being me, gives me this huge amount of what I call privilege. And you might have heard that mentioned before by other people on the Twitter or on the internets or whatever. I am I think, like compared to other people in the world, maybe overpaid and underworked a little bit. Like I don't have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet so that I can sleep. And I think that that's privilege. So this is me working. That's my little briefcase. I take that to work with me, carry my MacBook in it. And so that means I have a lot of extra time on my hands, or at least some amount of extra times, and some extra money. This is my money flying away to the shoe store or the dress store or whatever. Also, I think, so I have a paper outline, if you can see, I'm underprepared. Because of my interactions with the React.js community, I have a little platform there that I sometimes use to do what I want. So this React.js community is really awesome, and they're kind of captive. They want to come to all the meetups and stuff. So I have this like privilege that I get to tell them and ask them things and inform them of different things that's happening. Also, I think sometimes people follow me on Twitter, and this is me tweeting, because they want to see something funny that I've said or like learn something about React, probably more about React, like something that I found out. And then also there are companies in this very audience, actually, who reach out to me. This is a company in San Francisco. This is their office building. And they say like, hey, Devon, we'd really like to sponsor a React meetup. What can we do to get in your good graces? And then I use that as a platform to ask them for things. I abuse the platform. Mm-hmm. And then also, obviously, my peers reach out and they ask me questions, and then I like perpetuate those questions and try to find other answers. And that gives me like a little bit of clout for those people who have asked me a question, so like have a little leverage with those people. Here's where it might get a little bit more grumpy. This is my, well actually it's my mansplaining finger. Everyone in this room, you all, everyone here has privilege too. It's not just me, it's you too. I think like contributing to open source software, this is a computer that you contribute to open source software because everyone uses a Mac, means that you have some amount of privilege. It means that, 1, you probably have a little bit extra time on your hands, and 2, you probably have a little extra money on your hands in which you can go to the shoe store or buy new dresses. Also, I think that like if you're contributing to open source, this is my opinion, you're probably pretty clever. You're the smart guy. And you're like, I know a lot of things about software, and therefore, like, I have some things that I can offer to the world, which is a huge privilege. You don't realize that not everyone out there is as clever and as smart as everyone in this audience is. So, also, attending, so this is us at a conference. I'm not sure why it's a hospital, but that's us at the conference. That's all of us. See, attending a conference, I also think, denotes a little bit of privilege. We have like extra time, and well, I'm gonna get to that, I guess. I'll do the same emoji again. Okay, so it means you have extra time and extra money on your hands to go to the shoe store. And also it means that your job is probably pretty cool about giving you some time off to do things that might better yourself or make the community better, right? So we already have this platform. We have privilege. We have a little bit of space in which we can do cool things. We have a little bit of time and a little bit of extra money, at least compared to like most of the populace. So yeah, there's those things about our privilege. There's something that's shitty about our privilege too, and that's the sort of negative connotation that comes with it. I come from San Francisco. Is anyone here from San Francisco? Woo! So in San Francisco, software engineers are universally hated for being gentrifiers and pushing people out of their homes by just like our ability to exist and pay a higher amount of rent. We're like pretty well hated because we're pushing out poor people so that we can move into houses that have like close proximity to our work. That sucks. And then, we're whitewashing these communities. We're turning like all of the restaurants and bars and establishments into like software places where software conversations happen all the time. And like artists and artisans and poor people are kind of pushed out. And so that makes people hella pissed at us. And they're just like, oh God, these software engineers are talking about JavaScript again. I hate it. There's this other thing that happens too. This is an angry cat. This is me. Because like, I'll be like, I'm so heads down. Like I was thinking about this thing I want to deploy to Heroku and I don't really know how to do it because I work at Apple and like that might be complicated. So I'm like heads down and I'm just gonna like step over a homeless guy and like ignore some guy that asked me for money. And like people are like, God, why are you so absent-minded? Like just pay attention, just give me a smile or $1. I know you have an extra quarter or whatever in your purse. So this is us completely ignoring like the problem that's around us because we're so heads down in our little brains. Also, so this is Money Mouth. It's one of my favorites. This is us, like completely dressed in our swag from head to toe. Like, here's my Splunk backpack, my Google hoodie, and like my Apple hat, and like my conference t-shirt. And if you talk to people who aren't part of our little intrinsic community, they're like, man, it feels like you're pushing it in my face all the time, that you're in software, and that you have a little extra money, and that you have a little extra time, and like, you're not doing anything good for me at all. And you're everywhere, and you're wearing this uniform, and it's offensive. Like, we're wearing it on our bodies all the time, that we are part of this problem, and just sort of like telling everyone, kind of deal with it. This is our uniform. And that annoys people, just so you know. Not everyone can wear what they want. Anyone can wear what they want. I'm wearing a mermaid dress, but it still is like problematic for other people perceptually who say like, man, that sucks. Like I'm not part of that culture, and now I have to wait tables in order to just make like as a second job in order to make ends meet or whatever. Okay, so here's another thing too. And I think Ram got into this a little bit, but even within the software community, JavaScript and like rendering and CSS is kind of considered excess, right? Like if you explain what you do to like a layperson, you're like, well, computer science does all these things like makes robots and cars and keeps the world running. And what I do is I just like add glitter to that and make it a little faster. And they're like, that seems a little unnecessary. And you're like, don't worry, I get paid for it. Like it's important. But like it kind of denotes like excess in our culture, right? That we can have an entire like categorization of a career that's all about just like rendering faster and rendering prettier, right? Like, anyway, it's excess. Trust me, I know. Oh, I got another order here. Did I? Okay. So the next thing that you probably already know is that not everyone has this like huge amount of privilege around them all the time. There is obviously a great class disparity, not just in this country, but in the world at large. And so that sucks. There's a lot of people that need help constantly just because they're born of poorer means. And, that sucks. Also, there are people who are sort of traditionally marginalized by the computer science industry because in order to even like enter the computer science field, you have to have like a little bit of availability to computers and to like specialized programs in order to like take interest in that. Not everyone has that available to them, much less the ability to even graduate high school or college. So like those people are automatically, from birth almost, just like told, you'll never be part of this class that's surrounding you all the time and wearing their uniform. We also see a little bit of privilege taken away from people around us. We've seen this a couple times, it was just within the last couple months, right? Like in Italy and in Louisiana, like there's these huge catastrophic failures where people who might have traditionally been considered privileged are suddenly stripped of their wealth, of their family, of their homes, and sometimes their lives because of some sort of environmental effect that happens. These people need help, and these people are no longer privileged. And then the final little categorization of person, I think, is you and me, who are privileged at this moment, but at any moment could like become sick or become really depressed or get hit by a bus and need help as well. And even some people like travel agents, right? Like they used to be hella rich and super important, but then their jobs got completely replaced. So then they needed new like career changes and they needed like, you know, some help regaining a little bit of privilege so that they could continue owning their homes and breeding and all that stuff that people do who have privilege. I don't have any kids. Okay, so this part is about connecting you who have privilege, I think, for the most part. Some of you might be an exception, and I love you, and I'll help you. But like connecting all of you to other people that might not have the privilege, the people from the category above who might have had their privilege stripped away or never had it to begin with. So just remember, first and foremost, just like be nice to homeless people, like smile at them. And if you have a couple extra dollars, give them dollars. Like it's not your duty to like organize their money situation. Just be nice, and if you have a dollar, give a dollar. It's my motto. If you have a dollar, give a dollar. Okay, so here's a cool thing. I work for this company. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I work for this company, and this company does this thing where every time that I want to donate $1 to charity, they match that 100%, like up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So most companies will do this, right? Corporate agenda and whatnot. Like companies don't want to pay taxes, and so if they give a bunch of money to charity, they don't have to pay as much taxes. So your company might do this too. Like if you want to donate some money to charity and double down your dollar, you can ask your company to match. They might already have a program in place. But you can also be like an educated person and be like, hey, you would save money on your taxes if you matched this dollar bill that I gave. Anyway, I work at a place that does that. I don't know. It's a cool place, I guess. And then also that place that I work at does this thing where they give me unlimited free PTO to go donate time and do like philanthropic events like Habitat for Humanity or like when the fires happened in California. Your company probably does the same thing. It's actually kind of mandated in some states that are cool like California and probably in other states as well. And then they'll also give $25 an hour to the charity while I'm there donating my time. So like use this as a platform and tell your company that there's a company out there that does this and maybe they should compete on that sort of basis, and then they'll like save a little bit of money on their tax bill or whatever's important there. This next part is about like, so I abuse my platform frequently, and I try to use this platform that I have to encourage people to be philanthropic, and that's what I'm doing right now. So right now, my React meetup has a mandatory donation. Since they fill up every single time, I do like a low barrier of entry. It's $250 in order for anyone to attend the meetup, and that sort of guarantees that people will actually attend rather than no-show. And then I take that money, I match it, and then these other people that that I work for, they match it too. And so like last week, I donated $800 to charity on behalf of the React community. And the month before that, I donated $400 to a charity on behalf of the React community. And that's just because I'm abusing my platform, but like I think it's kind of for a good cause. And oh, you know what? Actually, look, you see this? This is a semicolon tattoo. I abuse my body for the purposes of philanthropy and charity. Like you guys probably all think that it's some like JavaScript thing, but really it's the Semicolon Project, if you've ever heard of that. It's about bringing awareness to mental health problems and suicide awareness. Anyway, so I'll even use my body. I'll abuse whatever platform that I'm allowed to use. So I encourage you to find a little charity that you like, or find many charities that you like, and start using your platform to give back to that charity. Okay, so here's where maybe programming comes into play a little bit. So, since you guys are all like hella skilled reactors and you're super smart, and you might have a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra money, I would challenge you to try and use just like 1 hour a month. And 1 hour a month is like pretty small. Like that's a tenth of the time that I spend stuck in a Reddit hole. So I think anyone else would probably be able to find an hour a month to just like give a little back to charity, whether it's with money or a number of other things I'm about to suggest. There's a lot of different organizations in just your community. If you can't find like a single person that might need help, there's like Boys and Girls Club, there is like neighborhood associations, there's after-school programs, there's relearning annexes. If you hate kids, there's like Veterans Affairs or whatever. There's all sorts of things where you can like work with grown-ups too. It's just a matter of finding those things. And honestly, like if you want to help with charity and you can't find one that you really love, like holler and I will find you one. I don't mind that job at all. So, what I've done. Oh yeah, oops. This one? Yeah, cool. What I encourage you to do is if you find a program that you really love, you can encourage them to start a JavaScript path, so that you can become like a subject matter expert for them. And what that'll entail is like, typically, for me at least, what that's entailed is like answering questions and emails. This is the email icon. Is it? I don't know. This is the email emoji, and it means like answering emails on behalf of the organization when people have questions about JavaScript or whatever. It means like tweeting to your community like, hey, here's a charity that needs some help, or like they have a question that they need answered about this React thing or this JavaScript thing. It means finding answers. Is that this one? Yeah, this is you finding answers. Like I'm looking for the answers that need to be answered for this charity that I really adore and respect. And then this one's really cool. This is you writing a blog post, because I know that you guys all love writing Medium posts all the time. So this is you writing it and being like, oh, there's this charity. It's really awesome. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's another thing too. Yes, this is the best part. So like, because you're really good at computering, you can like throw up really easy static websites for these different organizations and give them a face to the internet. Like everyone sort of deserves this little bit of representation. And since like the internet's really easy and there's Heroku, you can just like throw, or like even GitHub pages, you can throw up a little lightweight page for any of these charities that would normally not know how to do it on their own. So you can do that, and just like adding a lightweight PHP server or a Node server so that they can have a contact form, like reduces the amount of administrative fees that like charities have to pay for. So that's kind of a big deal if you can do that for them. Or yeah, oh, you could also like make a little tag, right? That's like donate now. And like they could include it in their website, or you could include it into your website, and it donates to some campaign, and then like they get extra money, which also reduces overhead, and they don't have to like set up a merchant services fee and stuff. So that's pretty sick. So see, this is the button. This is the donate now button you would press. Yeah. Also, there's this cool thing like you can do if your boyfriend's brother is like an esthetician and he needs a website, and you don't want to spend 3 hours over the weekend like building that website. You can find some little community organization that builds websites, pay them $300, wham bam, thank you ma'am. They get a little bit of experience, and you get a little bit of extra time on your hands to fall into a Reddit hole. So that's pretty sweet. So now I'm going to type some stuff, but not really. So the other day I was on the bus, and I did an npm install, and I took down the Wi-Fi, and everyone started yelling at me. But like the girl next to me was watching One Tree Hill, and I was like, my job is more important than you. Anyway, what I learned was that I'm not technically allowed to do npm installs over public internet ever. People really hate that. So first, I want to oops, tell you about this thing. Have you guys ever heard of this? Create React app? Yeah. So Dan Abramov, he did like a pronunciation thing that I fucked up, created this a few weeks back, and it's so sick. So if you want to throw up an application really fast and do like Heroku style, this is sick. It's done for you. It's like 3 easy, cheesy Japanesey commands, and then you have like this really sick React app up. So pretend that I did like npm install, create React app, and then pretend that I did this thing, and then pretend that I CD'd into it, and then pretend that I did an npm start. And then here it is. Oh my God, that was so fast. Did you guys see? That was incredible. Like, startup time was like so amazing. And look, it's even animated. Did you see that, Sarah? Okay, second thing I want to tell you about is Hack the Hood. Yay, Hack the Hood. Okay, so Hack the Hood is my current passion project. It's a charity out of Oakland, California, which is where I live. So it's part of my community and part of the people that I want to succeed. They do these really awesome tracks in different parts of software to teach kids who are like normally marginalized or disparate, like how to do computer science-y things. I have peer pressured them, annoyed them enough that they're going to start like a JavaScript Path in the fall. So if anybody's in the Bay Area and wants to volunteer some time to help teach React during that JavaScript Path, it's pretty sick. Afterwards, after they teach these kids some stuff, they solicit businesses from all over the world and say, hey, do you need like lightweight web apps done, or do you need like some little tablet app for your conference? And then they take the kids who have finished these little paths and they like put them in touch with these business owners that want little websites or little web apps done. And then these people like build tangible products with the things that they've learned and like make a couple extra dollars and then have a resume, and they can get real jobs. Like, it's an all-in-one circular program, and a lot of times the kids come back and volunteer and teach in the programs. It's really amazing. I encourage you to support Hack the Hood if you can, or at least find a passion project of your own that you really love. So, have you heard of this thing? It's called Tilt. No? Okay. Tilt is like crowdfunding type deal. But the good thing about Tilt is that you can start a campaign and you can say it's a charity, and Tilt will 100% waive all the merchant services fees that anyone has to pay for inputting money, or that you'd have to pay for taking money out. So I've started this little Tilt campaign. Holy shit, I got $20. Was that one of you? Thank you. This is www.tilt.com/tiltshack-the-hood. And yeah, you can put money in there. But don't yet. We'll get to it. And then the other thing I want to tell you about is this little thing, Devon BL, that's me. We learned that at the top of the hour. I created this little thing called React Give Back. And it is this tiny little tag that you include in your little website or whatever. And remember earlier when I said you could make a button and include it in your website for those people and then make it all easier? I did it for you because I know you're lazy, so just include it. And it's really easy to use. You can just do an npm install. So that's what we'll do. Oh, wait. This? Is this it? No, I don't want that. Sorry, my hands are shaking because I'm nervous. Silly. Here it is. Okay, so here's what app.js looks like in Dan's little sick thing, except I've done a couple of things so that it would be easier for me to whatever. I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna replace this little app intro with my little thing. Oh wait, I should comment it back uncommented. That's an important part. Don't leave comments in the middle of your return method of a render, because they don't comment out. They just show up. So you can see here, I added it, React Give Back, 0.5. I'm not sure how I got to the 0.5 version. That's really probably some NPM problems. I don't remember. Anyway, so then I added an import statement, and then here it is, right here in the middle of the thingamajig, and hopefully I have enough internet that this will work. Oh, it automatically refreshed to some other shit that I had. Ah, here it is. Look at this little emoji. This is me when I had blonde hair. It's like a couple of years back. And then you click on it, and look, it launches the campaign. Sick, right? So I'm going to click join. Yes, yes. I'm going to click join, and I'm going to contribute. So I got $200, just so everyone knows, I got $200 for participating in this little event that I think is really awesome. So I'm going to just donate that $200 right back to Act the Hood. I won't be charged, but I will be charged. I'll charge myself. Trust me, I'm not a bad thing. I don't know what to do here. Skip. I'll skip this too. I'll tweet it, actually. Let's see if this works. Oh my God, I'm done. Okay, so that's it. That's using charity, using your React skills to give back to charity. I think I might have one more slide on this thing. Like, oh yeah, that's you being lazy and me being helpful. I just want to say I have like one more tiny minute left, and I've been doing software for a little while, like a couple, 10 years or so, and I just want to say on this National Women Equality Day that like I feel more included in this community and more appreciated than like in any other software community I've ever been a part of. So thanks for giving me a platform to harass you guys about systemic sexism and charity and like letting me be here today. I really love all of you.